Hey guys, it's Kelly Ann and this is Flossy Friday. Welcome to the first Flossy Friday of the year. It is January 3rd, 2020, but it's my second video for the year because I did do a beginning of the year 2020-2019 statistics whip parade 2 days ago. So if you haven't checked that one out, go check that one out. And you can see all the whips that I'm going into 2020 with, which is a total of 40, I believe. But yeah, I'm still a little under the weather, but at least this time I can hear how loudly I'm talking and how I'm talking, which was really weird the other day, but with all of the like pressure and congestion, you know how you can't always tell like how loud you're talking, or even like trying to like protect like my throat and stuff. I sounded a little funny, which I probably still do. It just is what it is. I'm a little sick still, so at least you're on the other side of a computer screen. Not contagious, just the crud, you know? Like it hits you out of nowhere, the crud. Okay, so I do have 2 whips this week as well as a finish. It is not a 2020 finish. It is my final 2019 finish, number 53. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with him because he is the first thing that I worked on this week. So this is on a piece of 18 count Picture This Plus jazz. And it is my Blackbird design, Frosty's Night Out. I did make some changes color-wise, 100%. But if there was a pink called for, I used a pink, blue, green, etc. But there are a few color changes that I made. So for instance, the moon, I made it like a pale purpley color to go more with the fabric and make it seem more like a mystical moon late at night or something like that. And then the other change that I made is the little twine that would be, I don't know why I air quoted that, but like the twine that would be around the broom, I made a brown color, and I made what looked like to me to be the broom handle. I also made that brown. So in the pattern, you can see that it kind of looks like there's like a scarf along the broom handle. So I just personally changed that to a brown color. I also, because I didn't make it like a scarf type thing, I made it less flowy down here, and so I gave him more leg. Now there is a pattern mistake. So if you do have this pattern, just be careful. The lighter green color, there are a couple of that symbol down on his leg that should not be that color, so just keep out for that. But otherwise, the change that I made is I did not do the snowflakes. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, I did put up a poll the day that I was finishing him up, and I said, does he need the snowflakes? And several people sided with me and said no, but overwhelmingly it was voted that yes, he needed them. But whenever it came down to it, I just thought that he was cute like this. It made him a little bit more squared up instead of circular, because this does finish in a more circular way. I would want to make him more of like a little ornament or frame him or make him a flat fold. So I wanted to keep him a little bit more squared up. So I didn't put the snowflakes. I can always go back and do it, but I think I really just like him the way that he is. I do love it on this fabric. The called for fabric is Picture This Plus Murky, which I adore him on that one as well, but he's pretty cute. So that was my final finish of last year. And I'm just curious, y'all know that I love to chat with y'all in the comments down below, but let me know how many things that you finished. Were they small things, big things? We all finish different amounts because we all stitch at our own speed and have different amounts of time available to us for stitching. But some of you guys I know mostly only stitch on massive projects like Hades and other full coverage things, or mirabilias and lavender and lace pieces and things like that. So it's harder to finish more things. But if you finish a lot of smaller things, let me know too, because I'm just curious. I think it's fun. If you watched my whip parade, you know that I'm really into tracking my numbers and things like that for what I've stitched. Statistics are in me. What can I say? All right, so my next one, and if you did watch the whip parade video, you've already seen where I left off on this piece for the end of the year, but if you haven't, here we go. So this is my Christmas Rules by Lizzie Kate, and this is on a piece of 32 count Lugana by Picture This Plus in the color Sterling. I don't know why I keep on doing that. So I haven't finished the top border. I talked about it last week, and I think also in the whip parade, but this is one of my finishes that I have to have done by November of this year for my quilt guild. I don't have to. It's what I'm supposed to have finished. Now, there's no penalties if I don't finish, by the way. You just, and I don't know if I explained it well enough in the last few times that I've mentioned it, but if you finish what you set out to finish for that month and you bring it to the meeting, you basically get your name in a drawing at the end of the year, and you can win gift cards towards the fabric shop for quilting fabric. They had like fat quarter bundles and things like that, so you can win actual fabric or patterns or gift cards. So basically your name just gets put in a drawing to win stuff at the end of the year, and every month that you have your item completed for that month, you get your name put in, and if you don't finish, there's no penalty. You just don't get a ticket for that month. So you just get one less entry into the drawing. So I don't know if I explained that part of what our whip thing throughout the year was, but this one is for my November whip to have finished. So I made pretty good work. This is about, I don't know, I would say like 30 to 33% finished. In my opinion, it's probably a little bit more if you really want to be technical, but it's getting there. But every time I get it out, I'm going to work a little bit more on the upper banner. But I did get 4 out of the 12 rules done, which is really nice. So if I can put a week to a week and a half into this 2 more times, then I should be able to have this finished. So one thing that I am doing is I'm keeping the borders in the middle simple. If you've ever seen this pattern, this is a 3 row border where it's like a cute little like checker print. I just did 1 row because I am rearranging the rules. So some of the rules have framed out boxes, just like in the Halloween rules piece. And because I'm rearranging them, it kind of throws off the every other pattern. So I decided just to keep it simple by doing the 1 row, and I'm just making sure that above and below there are 2 stitch amounts completely blank. So that way they're evenly spaced. And let's see, I did change some of the called for colors. It is called for in Gentle Arts and Weeks and things like that. So I did have to kind of pick comparable colors because I'm doing it in DMC. And so I changed them to go well with my fabric. But as far as other color changes that I've made along the way, let's see. I changed these little guys. They're supposed to be one of the reds. I changed this line in the candle holder to be red instead of white because I just wanted that contrast because the candle is white. And then I changed the color of the music notes from one of the reds to yellows. And the tops of the ornaments were supposed to be the yellow to be like a gold, but since my yellow is more of an actual yellow, not a gold color, I changed it to the light blue to be more of a silver. And this ornament was supposed to have that blue color, so I did change these up significantly as far as which colors went where, but I really like the way that it came out. So I'm roughly a third of the way done with this, which makes me feel really good and comfortable. And my Halloween rules, I'm on rule 4 and 5, I think, but my entire topper is done. I'm working on the border as I go down. So that one's also at around a third, and that one has to be finished before my October meeting. So definitely going to see both of the Lizzie Kate rules coming back out. I don't want to say like relatively soon, but way before like it's time to really start being stitching Halloween and Christmas. Like I said last week, and during my whip parade, I really want to get several of them finished, kind of like how I did last year, to where I can kind of relax the end of the year and not be like scrambling to finish some of these challenge pieces for myself, because the fall is a whole lot busier for me, and I want the freedom to be able to start things and work on other whips as well. So the more of them that I can get to a really good spot in the first 6 months of the year, if not like most of them finished, I will be very happy. So the next couple of months, most of my focus pieces are probably going to be ones that I have to obviously get done in the first half of the year. That's probably what a lot of January and February are going to be. But then February and March, and then even April, is mostly going to be working on concentrating on those finishes for the end of the year for the most part, getting them to a comfortable place so I don't have to like I said, scramble and feel like I'm going to run out of time, because I really do want to finish those. I mean, it would be great to have those 12 challenges done for this year. And if that's my only finishes, then fantastic. And if I finish more, then fantastic. It would probably be more, but you know, at least have those, right? Okay. So my next one also comes with a posed question. So also down in the comments while we're chatting, I do have a proposed question for you guys. So this is my Blackbird Design Beatles bag. And I haven't shown them in a while, but I do have 3 out of, this is the fabric for the other ones. So my most recent one was Octopus Garden. Okay, and the year of that one is over here. And then I had my Yellow Submarine, which, yes, it also has the year over here. And then we have Strawberry Fields right here. And the year was, I believe, in this area. It was either over here or it was over here. I can't remember. But I decided to put it in the gate as if it was the address of the house. So that's the year that the song came out. So, and I'm showing you those because I made a change to my current one, but I also have a proposed question on the other 2 that I have left after this one. So let me show you the Long Winding Way. Now this is my February challenge piece for my Quilt Guild, so it has to be done by the first Monday of February, which I think it's gonna happen. So I'm on day 4 of working on this, so today is actually day 4, and I've made a significant amount of progress. I have some of the flowers left to do over here. I have the vines for the trees and the house to finish, and some of the foliage over here, but it is very like sparse. The last thing that has like heavy coverage is finishing up the house, and there's not a whole lot left to it. And then the last step is going to be, there's lazy daisies. So one thing that I did change was I made the year in the lighter pink color, because it was in this bluish gray color, and I wanted it to stand out a little bit more since this part of the fabric was the more like bleached kind of looking area, and I didn't think it would stand out very well because it's kind of light. So I did change the color for the year there, but you can tell I don't have a whole lot left. I mean, I do and I don't. Like I said, it's very sparse, so it's moving along really quickly. And so here's my question. So my April piece for my quilt guild is to have Eleanor Rigby done, which basically means all that will be left is Blackbird. So I'm just gonna probably knock out the whole rest of the series in the first few months of this year. But for the year down here, there's a couple of things. I think I'm gonna take out the heart because my fabric is Ada. This is over 1, and I really want, I'm either going to do one of two things. I'm either going to not have it say Eleanor Rigby at all, or I'm going to stitch that not over 1 because it'd be really difficult to do on Ada. And so that's going to be way bigger, and I don't know how well I can fit that, but it would probably like go into this, and then it would go into like this little crevice. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. So I would have to kind of like rechart that for myself to go in this little area. I also want to change the date. I'm assuming that 1904 is supposed to be the year that Eleanor Rigby was born, but I would like to change that to, I believe it's 64 that the song came out. So that way it matches with all the other patterns of what year the song debuted. So I'm thinking about changing that year, not doing this heart, and doing the name bigger, or leaving the heart, maybe not putting the full name, maybe just putting like ER over here. I don't know. Let me know if you have any thoughts or opinions on that. And then the other pattern, the final one, is Blackbird. Now this is in all one color. It's charted in Espresso Bean, which I actually don't have. I was just going to do it in one of the dark blues, like Uniform Blue or Tin Bucket, one of the ones that's been in all the other patterns. But I've also toyed with, because some of the patterns are a lot more colorful than others, making this more colorful. So leaving the Blackbird black, but making the branches of the plant brown, making these like colorful, the leaves, the berries, the vase a color. And then I've got to figure out a way to put the date on here as well, because this one, like Strawberry Fields, does not have the date already charted on it. So I thought about maybe leaving it out of the vase, or doing it kind of like swirly, like some of the other ones, like going down like right here or across the bottom, something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about making this colorful. So one, it would be different from pretty much anybody else's who's ever done this pattern, but just unique and different, and make the Blackbird really stand out by making him the darkest thing on this piece. So I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm just curious to see what what other opinions. But it's something that I've been thinking about for a long time. I think I've talked to Heather about it, and somebody else. I can't really remember. I don't, especially today, I don't have the best memory. And as you can tell, I still haven't cleaned up, but that's what happens whenever you don't feel very well. So yeah, so this is what I'm going to work on until it's done. And then funny enough, I didn't get to work. I did go back to work yesterday. I stayed home today because I feel like I got a little bit worse overnight. And so I changed up my medicine today, but my head still feels like it's in a bubble, and I still can't fully hear myself and how I'm talking because my ears are all plugged. And so, but I'm getting better, and that's what's important. But anyways, so I stayed home today, but I went to work yesterday and I took 3 whips with me to try and work on them. And because one had a highlighter, scissors, and a hoop on it, I assumed, like a silly person, that there was a needle minder with needles on it, and there wasn't. So I couldn't stitch on any of the 3 that I brought with me, but I currently have in my work bag the Let's Wine, which is the wine bottle by Ursula Michael, which, thinking back on it, I don't think I said who that piece was by in my whip parade. It's by Ursula Michael. I brought my Be Inspired because I have that one color left and I have to have it done by my March meeting. And I brought the Stitch in Time, also by Stitchrovia, which is the sewing machine made up of words, and it's 3 colors. It's really pretty. It's a pattern that's been available for a really long time from a Just Cross Stitch magazine, but surprisingly, Emma's never released it on her Etsy shop. So if you are interested in that pattern, you might be able to like message her on Etsy or on Instagram or her Facebook page. She's very responsive. I've talked to her before, and she may be able to post that one. I'm not sure, but it is about 3 or 4 years old. Okay. I forgot to show this last week, and I felt so bad about it, but I left it in my kitchen with all of my Christmas cards, and I just totally forgot to grab them. But Cassandra sent me a really sweet Christmas card this year, and she had been making thread drops, and I've never had thread drops, but she made a whole bunch, super cute, in all different bright, fun colors, and put these in a little Christmas card for me. So thank you so much, Cassandra, and I've got to find a pattern to use these with. It'll be really fun. The last thing, though, that I have is, I've talked about it before, but back in September, I was stitching some special stuff to do a promo video for Pictureless Plus for their 1/8 sale. They did 2 weeks of 1/8 sales, and they released different colors, different size counts in each week. And then I did a little special gift for a friend for promo for their Black Friday sale, or not Black Friday, their Cyber Monday sale. So as a thank you for the Cyber Monday promo, Mike and his assistant, he had his assistant pick out some different 1/8s for me in different colors and size counts, and he sent them my way as a thank you for the promotion for their sale. And so these are what him and his assistant sent to me from Pictureless Plus. So this is a 40 count in Mellow. These are all going to be linens. They sent me 4 different ones, all of them in different stitch counts. So this is the 40 count. It's in Mellow. It's a really beautiful, like, butter yellow color. That's Pretty True. A really, really nice neutral color. The next one is a 36 count, and this one is Highland. Again, it's a linen. Absolutely love this one. My secret piece is actually on Highland, but it's on Lugana, so the color holds a little bit differently in that piece of fabric. This one, a lot of the blue is showing up, as well as that beautiful mossy algae green and that nice khaki color. This is showing up pretty true. So I'm excited. So I can either do like one larger piece on this 1/8, or I can split it down the middle here and have a more bluer piece and a more like green piece over here. So just depends on what I can find to put on that, which that's sometimes the easiest / hardest part, isn't it? Choosing the right fabric. The next one is a 32 count linen. And this is in the color Spice, which I've never had, but this color is beautiful. It's like the perfect shade of dark chocolate milk. Absolutely love this. It's going to be a perfect neutral for something. Like almost anything would look good on this. And then the last one is a 28 count piece of crystal linen in the color Truffle. Now, Truffle is a beautiful pink color. Oh, it's showing up pretty true. I feel like it's a little bit more pink than that, but that's as close as I'm gonna get it. Farther back, that's kind of close. No, it's not. It's showing off a little bit more peach in the camera. This is like a pink color. I wonder if I hold something pink up to it, if it'll show it better. Kind of. So it's more of an actual pink, not a peachy color. But this is, Truffle is what my Quaker Gone Haunted is on, except this is the crystal version of that in a linen. And this crystal is done a little bit different than some of the crystal fabrics that I have from the past. The crystals are a little bit thinner and they're woven in there a little bit differently. So, it'd be probably a whole lot less harder to stitch with and see for me personally. And I love it on the pink. It's probably a more true color right there. But that is all that I have for you today, guys. I hope they all had a fantastic New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Got to spend time with friends and family and stitching, of course. I hope that y'all have a fantastic weekend coming up and hopefully don't have the crud like I do. And have a great week, a first full week into the new year next week. And I will see you all next Friday. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below on what you think about this project here, because we're gonna see a fair amount of the Beatles pieces in the first quarter of the year. It feels like, doesn't feel like, it's a fact. But also tell me about your stats for the end of the year if you happen to know them. Not everybody keeps up with that. But what else? Yeah, just talk to me down below. I really enjoy it and I love responding to everybody. And I will see y'all next Friday. Bye, guys.